Hi there, Sandra here from Createinspain and Siser, Juliet, Beginners to Pro. I've designed a card today with the help of a couple of images from Pixabay. Pixabay is a site where you can download free images that you can use for whatever purpose you like. And I must admit, it comes in very handy when you want to have some fresh ideas. So I've done a print and cut here on my Juliet. And I've got more pieces here than I will probably need, but I figured, heck, I'm doing a page print and cut. I may as well do a couple of extra bits just in case I make a mess of something. And I cleaned my mat this morning, so it was nice and sticky and I don't have any problem with things moving around on it. Now, in case you're wondering, what I use as a mat, because this is not a standard mat, and how I clean them. This is, take these off and I can show you the back side of a for sale sign. Now we can get these all over the place in Spain. Now as you can see, this was cut down from a much larger one. Now this isn't paint on top of it, this is imprinted within the plastic. So there's nothing that comes off of here that can go into the machine when it's traveling backwards and forwards. And all I do is I mark it out for a 12-inch square and I tack it over and over in a thin layer within that square to make it sticky. Now I can buy one of these large mats, which is twice the size of this, for about €2.50. So you can tell that those make mats considerably cheaper than they might otherwise be. And I would much rather go through my cheaper mats and replace them as I need to than try and use a more expensive mat and string it out until it's useless, because that just gives you bad cuts. Alright, this is my background piece. And I've got a plain white card for it to go onto. You can see a little white dot there. That is not part of the design. I put that there for a particular reason. So it's going to be joined like so. Now this is a relatively thin card. This one is only 200 GSM, I think. Maybe 250, I can't remember. So it's not a very thick card and I may well want to put several layers together. So I'm going to line these up and glue some together until I get the kind of weight that I really want. It's going to be 3, I think. So my reindeer and my Santa are now dry and they're relatively firm, which is good. And I need to punch a hole here and I need to punch a hole here, hence why I marked it up. I've put in a piece of card the same pattern as this, where I cut this out from an A6. There's a little bit of border on there, so I use that extra to cut out a little piece. It's in the file, and I've also got a yellow star on there, which I've added. And if you've noticed, I've actually put in an eyelet. And I've put an eyelet on here as well. That's what the little white dot was for, so that you could mark out the eyelet there. Right, next thing, I want to put something on the back of here which will weigh it down. So I've got a coin and I'm going to use some double-sided sticky tape. Make sure you stick this to the wrong side of your design. Don't put it on the right side by mistake. Then I'm going to get another piece of tape, just more sticky tape this time. And stick that like that and take off the excess. Make it grip around the outside of the coin. Now if you're doing this design, don't give it to very young children because you do not want them taking the coins off and swallowing them. So we have this one, we have this one, and we have, oops, a brad. Now with this, what I've done is I've trimmed off the very edges with a pair of wire cutters, so they're a bit shorter, because this is quite close to the edge. So you put the brad through, turn it over, and use anything that you like. It could be a piece of card, it could be a pin, and you want to spread the legs of the brad over the pin. And the reason for that is because if you put it flat, you can get it too tight And if you get it too tight, then nothing's going to swing, which defeats the whole object. So I've got my greeting cut out from a piece of vinyl. A word of caution, when you're putting your sticky tape on to put it onto the car base, make sure you don't have anything that is in the way of this brad, because you don't want to stop it rotating. So there we have our swinging sleigh with Santa and Rudolph. It goes really, really easily. That's what adding those little eyelets does for it. Makes it run an awful lot better than it does if you don't have any. So there we have it. That's today's card. Hope you've enjoyed it. I will put a link to the file down below and you can make your very own. Thanks for watching. Bye.